Hey, friends, welcome back to Begin As You Mean to Go On. If you are catching this on YouTube, you might notice that my location has changed from my usual, and that has to do with the story of our podcast today. We are going to talk about the power of documentation. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because there's been a lot happening this week. Um, we had a epic snow and ice storm in my city of Portland, and that has wreaked havoc with my plans for the week. So I'm going to tell you all about it, and I'm going to tell you how documentation really saved the day in terms of the running of my business. But before we get into that, of course, if you're new to the podcast and this is your first time with us, I want to invite you to listen to this entire episode. And then if you find value in it, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating and review. It's a great way to say thank you and just let other people know that this podcast is helpful and worth listening to for service based business owners. All right, let's dig in. So I spent the weekend at a dog show. I have a very fancy show dog. And they planned this dog show. They did all the COVID precautions, and they found a location that was basically a barn. It's basically a barn at an event center. And so we had planned to go to this, and then as we're looking at the weather reports to go to this event, uh it's looking worse and worse. It's like snowstorm, ice storm, freezing rain, like all the things. And if it were up to me, we probably would have like stayed home roasting marshmallows over the gas stove. But my wife is from Wisconsin, and so we ponied up, and we haven't seen our dog friends in a long time. So we ponied up, we loaded up all our stuff, and we were just going to drive there and back each day because it's not that far. It's less than an hour drive. But with conditions being what they were, we decided to just get a hotel, stay overnight. Our cat sitter was up for it. So everything was arranged. We packed up overpacked, I should say, all of our stuff. And we headed to the show. So I spent the weekend in a cold barn, basically watching really pretty dogs run around a show ring. Um, and it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. I was worried that it was going to be like a completely open space, but it was, it was a barn, had walls. Like we were still chilly, but it wasn't too bad. And then we had our warm hotel, and that was like a few blocks away. So that was all fine and good. Come home, and we were in Washington, so the roads in Washington are so much better. Literally, when we crossed the river into Oregon, you could tell the roads were not plowed, they were not salted. So everything was actually fine until like that last mile getting to our house, and then it was just like touch and go, like running the stop signs in the neighborhood because we knew if we stopped, like it was over. And we made it home, and it was great. We got a hot shower, looked forward to getting into our own bed. And then around 1:30 in the morning, the beeping starts. And the beeping means that one of the backup batteries has come on, which means our power is out. And the weather was slated to get better to start getting warmer on Monday. So it's like, if we could just ride out this one night without losing power, then we'll make it. But we didn't make it. So then we have to start doing all of the power management things, which mostly involves, trying to save our food. And my wife actually had to go back to work. So she had to, arrange for someone to like work for her in the morning so that because she couldn't even get out. Like it was too icy. It had frozen over. So there was just all this stuff to do. And so work was just not going to happen. And our phones didn't even work. We didn't even have working cell service. Like we could maybe text back and forth with a couple of people, but by and large, messages weren't happening, phone calls weren't happening, couldn't get onto Slack or any sort of work app. And so it took quite a bit just to figure out how to get a hold of somebody who could get a message to my team to even tell them, hey, I'm out of commission. Right. So finally ended up doing that, and then really just spent the next day and a half just trying to stay warm and trying to manage things. And as annoying as it all was, I have to say that there was a lot to be grateful for in that. We have a gas stove, so I was able to, heat up water for tea. And I finally had an excuse to eat one of those camping meals that we never eat when we're actually camping. Our neighbor was really generous, and he's got a generator, so he threw an extension cord over the fence so we could charge our phones and things. So, I mean, people are like stepping up left and right to help us out. But it doesn't change the fact that, I basically spent the day like huddled on the couch under a blanket or just, taking care of the pets. um, and you know what I didn't worry about that whole time? I really didn't worry about what was getting done in the business because I finally have a team, and the team is finally to the point where I have complete confidence that they're going to be able to handle the day to day stuff. And the one thing I was really sad about is, well, two things that I was sad about is I had planned this big challenge. We were going to do the Share the Love challenge, which is still going to happen. Probably will have happened by the time this episode airs. But the Share the Love challenge is just a week that I was going to launch right on the back of Valentine's Day to really encourage people to go out and support their favorite businesses. Go give those reviews to your favorite podcast. Go give some love to your service businesses, give testimonials. I have a different category for each day. And, I was going to go live each day to talk about my favorite things and encourage folks. And it was like, it's all canceled. So that was a bummer, but we're just going to push that back. No big deal. The other thing is that, if you listen to the previous, might be one or two episodes, probably two episodes back in the podcast, episode 14, that dropped and I had no power. I couldn't listen to it. And it was epic, y'all. It was the choosing your tech stack episode, and probably definitely the longest solo episode that I've done, running down really all the technology. And I'm really proud of that episode. I think it's probably one of the most useful episodes that I've done. If you're a service business owner and you're struggling with your technology, definitely go and check it out. But I couldn't listen to it, I couldn't promote it, and I didn't worry about it. And here's why: because not only do we have a kick ass team, but we have a ton of documentation. We have a ton of SOPs, standard operating procedures, and we have a ton of task templates so that people know what to do and when they're supposed to do it. And so I knew that, the podcast had already been recorded. It was already with the producer. It would go back to the team. And that the promotion would happen, the blog post would happen, all the things would happen, and I didn't worry about it. And that's because of documentation. And if I didn't have that, if I had a team, but they were reliant on getting everything out of my brain in order to know how to do things, then I would have been screwed. Or if I didn't have a team at all, I would have been screwed, right? And if it wasn't in the can and automated and ready to go. So the other way that can work is I have a client actually who, when we had our coaching call today and shared our wins, her win was that, she knew the ice storm was coming and she wasn't standing around in a barn watching dogs. And so she pre-automated a bunch of emails for, the next week or so that she knew that, things would be happening, people would be getting nurtured and all those things. So that's another way that you can win when you know things are coming like that. But we're still on the lam, right? It's Wednesday as I record this. Our power went out Sunday night and it's still out. So I'm at an Airbnb. I basically have a complete mobile studio. I've got my microphone, I've got my camera. I even have a portable external monitor. And so, I need to get the word out to the people. And the thing is, the reason that I wanted to share this with you is because when you talk to business owners about SOPs and about documentation and about process and about systems, a lot of times their eyes glaze over. And, that's because they don't understand that when things like this happen, right? When shit hits the fan and you are basically cut off from your business, those are the things that are going to save you. And even when, things are not happening and you're not cut off from your business, if you just want to be able to focus, if you want to be able to focus on the things that are in your zone of genius, or if you want to just be able to get your first, maybe you just need to get your first virtual assistant, right? And a lot of people are paralyzed about, where do I find this person? What do I even have them do? How are they going to know how to do it? And this is how, is because if you just define in advance the things, here's exactly what I tell my clients. All right. I'm going to give you this freebie, because I get asked this all the time, is spend a week doing a time study. Okay. A time study is just you being really meticulous about keeping track of what is it that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? This could be helpful in lots of ways, one of which is to reveal maybe how much time you're wasting, right? But also, you're going to be meticulous about tracking this time and the activities that you're doing in your business. So once you have made this list and you've tracked this time, you're going to ask yourself the following: what is on this list that I really don't like doing? What is on this list that I'm really terrible at? Right. And you're going to take those two lists and you're going to look at those and you're going to see, like, where do these things combine that they could actually create a role in your company? And don't worry about, how am I going to pay for the role? Who's going to do the role? Just, this is the beginning step, right? If you can just do these steps and you start to formulate this picture of, oh, okay, this could be an actual role in my company where someone could actually do these things. And that will then motivate you to figure out, who's going to do this? How are you going to find them? All of those things. But that's the first step. And once you have that list, then you can start to figure out, okay, these are the things that I need to document first. And the reason that people stall on this is that they think, oh, I'm going to have to write out and create screenshots and make this meticulous documentation. And you would rather, like, poke your eye out than do that. And I get it. I understand. And so here's the thing I'm going to share with you. You don't actually have to do that. What you need to be able to do is create a video. You can use Loom or Cloud app or any kind of screencasting software to create videos and talk through, this is how you do things in your business. This is why you do it the way you do it. And you can hand that video off to a virtual assistant and they can create those documents. And that's how you get it done. It doesn't have to be you that does it. And this is what I need you to internalize, because this is, if you haven't done this in your business, this is the roadblock to you getting any kind of freedom in your service business. Okay. So that's why I'm making this episode all about this. Because it's so important and it's the key to freedom. And I want y'all to experience this, because I cannot describe to you, just like, I slept all day. I slept and, huddled under a blanket with the cats and just didn't worry. I just didn't worry. And it's just this priceless feeling. And I want you to have it too. Okay. So, that is what I wanted to share with you. And if this is something that you're going through right now, or if this is something that you need inspiration for, like, come on over to the Service CEOs group and let's talk about it. Because I ended up teaching on this to my clients in the coaching call today. Luckily, we were able to have the coaching call because of this lovely Airbnb. And right after the call, one of my clients posted and basically had, a breakthrough on a mindset block that she had been having about SOPs because of this call. So that's why I wanted to come on and share this with you. And if you're having issues with this, then come on over to the group and let's talk about it. All right. So that's it for this week. Short one for you, as guerrilla style from the Airbnb. And, power is still not on. There's no estimate for when it's going to be on. So we might be moving to a new spot tomorrow, and I might be coming to you from somewhere else. Who knows? But hopefully things will get back to normal. But, the show must go on. So I wanted to bring you this episode. All right. So now's the time. If you found this valuable, this short nugget, we went from, epic solo tech posts to a quick nugget of wisdom that I hope will inspire you. And if you found value in it, two things. I want you to go ahead right now and open up your app and leave that 5-star rating and review. Let me know what you got out of this episode. And I want to know, who are you thinking about right now? Who needs to hear this? Okay. I know that you're thinking about somebody who has been struggling with this, and I want you to go and share this episode with them. carveldigital.com/16. It's episode 16, and that will take you right to the episode. All right. And one other thing is, if you want to be a part of the VIP podcast crew, which is the secret club, not so secret club of folks who get behind the scenes episode and extras, and basically get to the top of the list when it comes to suggesting ideas for episodes, then you want to go to carveldigital.com/VIP and go ahead and sign up. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. I will see you next time. And until then, don't forget to begin as you mean to go on. Hey, y'all. Mini Boot Camp is back. I know you're thinking, what is Mini Boot Camp? Well, a couple of years ago, when I first started boot camp, I knew how impactful this could be for people if they would just get over the hump and get inside the program. And I knew that the investment was a barrier for a lot of folks who were very, very interested. And so Mini Boot Camp is a slice of our full content boot camp program. The full program is 12 weeks, Mini Boot Camp is 4 weeks. Aside from the time difference, there's no difference whatsoever between mini boot camp and full boot camp. So when you come in, you get the same onboarding, you get the same one-on-one attention from me, you get the same worksheets and access to our recorded lessons for 4 weeks. And, if you come in and you apply yourself, there's a lot of momentum you can generate and a lot of wins you can have in 4 weeks. There's no pressure to continue. If you come in and, you decide that it's not for you at the end of 4 weeks, no harm, no foul, you can go on your way. And if you come in and you apply yourself and you do great and you want to continue, then obviously you are eligible to upgrade into our full bootcamp program and continue for the full 12 weeks. But you're not obligated to do so. And I know that, if investment is an issue, then having that pressure release from, maybe you can make that first payment, but you're not sure where that second or third payment is coming from. Believe me, I have been there. So if this helps you get over the edge, I want to get you on the inside, because our clients are having wins and breakthroughs every single week. And I know that there are a lot of folks looking at this program that we could make a really big impact in your business in a short time if you just get on the inside. So hopefully this helps push you over the edge. And if you want to take advantage of this opportunity, it's not going to last forever and it's not going to be for everyone. So I'm opening up 12 spots for this. And when they're gone, they're gone. So if this is something you're interested in, go to carveldigital.com/mini and get all the details on how you can take advantage of this awesome opportunity. I really hope to see you on the inside. I'll talk to you soon.